Hey, camper fan, you can talk. We're not muted yet.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Hey dear.
Not easy for me.
Hey, how are you? You're so
Ron
mean.
Carter.
Hi.
That was so much fun. I like
I'm like-
busting up there.
Yeah,
Got
I'm
a
sure.
new world we need to bring you to next time for this, Darren, if you got some time.
Sure. What are you guys doing? Different world?
Yep.
Something he made. Yeah,
Okay.
that we went to after the open mic last night.
Oh, that's cool. I'll do that.
Yeah. I kind of got lost in there. Like, yeah.
It kind of gives you kind of a guide to where you have to go.
Okay.
So
All right.
it's a lot of work still. I just started.
It's pretty big. Large place.
It is. It's bigger than the other regular cave that I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
It was a oxide cave. It's a huge difference. But you know, I like to go to these places.
I know you do that. That's quite being finished. Just realized that you're trying for a while.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed it. Well, what I do is I get responses from people going in, and I look at myself and go, what can I do to make it more interesting? So
Yep.
I always
cool.
keep on. I make it interesting. People go through it and they go, "Oh, it's so nice! It's so nice!" I kind of give them a tour guide through it. And I thought, they go, well, "Where's the secret passage?" I know you have secret passages. And I go, "No, I don't have to."
Woo! Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hi, welcome to the news and updates. I'm Laurel. Let me introduce you to my amazing co-host, Donna.
Oh, I forgot to drink water before I came. Oh, sorry. Hey, everyone. Welcome. I'm Donna McTee, and here to help host another in our third year delivering you the news from around the AltSpace VR community. We are getting ready for the holiday event season. Are you guys excited? Christmas is my favorite season. So let's start again with events before we get to the rest of the AltSpace news. The holiday season is upon us, and so are lockdowns. We share this image with you not to scare you or over dramatize this situation. There is no way to over dramatize this. But we share to suggest for you to encourage everyone to get into VR now, to connect and socialize. Doing it in person is dangerous right now, and we want to protect ourselves, our friends, our neighbors, and especially our families. Remember, when we were freaking out way back in March and April, this is not, it feels sometimes like that was yesterday, and sometimes you look at the clock and realize like that was at the beginning of 2020, and thank God we're close to the end of 2020. So remember when we were freaking out, this is not the time for complacency. COVID-19 is not isolated. It has spread in every part of the world. It is accelerating.
And as you can see on this poor chart behind us, we know more than we did in the early months. Extreme social distancing and self-isolate when directed by the experts and your local governments. And make VR your social choice. Seriously. So those of us in social VR, we aren't feeling those self-isolation blues and woes that many do. Yeah, we're all stressed, but we feel connected here. We have concerts, nightclubs, theater shows, classes, workshop. We have Megs, Donna's beautiful dog. We have discussions and so much to do. I love Megs. It is a wonder any of us get any sleep. Seriously, we need to take off our headsets just to get some alone time. Be brave, stay safe, and let's keep meeting in VR. And let's take a look at what's happening here in AltSpace VR to keep you entertained.
Okay, so if we look at the AltSpace events calendar, after the news today is Evolve VR Party with DJ Illuminati to help you dance and party to some great music. The Fail to Render 18 Plus Comedy Showcase is doing their All-Star Showcase right after that. Wow, what great distractions.
Yay! Hey, it's expensive to do some of these things in the real world. You get to do all these for free here. I love it. And there are nightclub experiences all weeks. No bouncer, no cover charge right here. Check out Place on Thursday with the Khmer Magic Music Bus featuring the music from Cambodia. And VR Rhythm Thursdays with Illuminati.
Looking for something different? We have plenty of that here in AltSpace VR. Steph One Finder will be showcasing his self-made astronomy photographs he took with telescopes he built literally by himself, people. This is incredible. We love that the event will be in English and in German.
It just, what people come up with to do here, Donna, it's amazing to me.
It is incredible.
Yeah. And tomorrow is a full day of events with the UK meetup with Daisy Shaw, bringing together UK Pats and expats and fans and Anglophiles and everybody to have a great social and party time. We love hearing stories from her events where people just meet and talk and then find out they live right down the street from each other or in the same town. It's a small, small world, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I found some people from my own province just this past week in AltSpace. It's very,
cool.
It's crazy. Neurodiversity Lounge is tomorrow, bringing together those with ADHD to discuss options and how to live with this superpower.
Yay. And if weather cooperates, we're all crossing arms, legs, toes. Rocket Party is back with the launch of the SpaceX and NASA rocket going off. They're taking their next complement of astronauts to the International Space Station. These are people whose names are going to go down in history. Mike Hopkins, Shannon Walker, Victor Glover, and JAXA astronaut Soichi Noguchi. They are ready to launch. Let's hope that all the conditions fare well, and watch this event right here in AltSpace in the Rocket Party Space Museum with a NASA live stream that's beamed right here into AltSpace.
Educators in VR is hosting an educational world tour on Tuesday, leading people around to explore the amazing virtual world's ideal for teaching, for workshops, and for inspiring homework projects for students of all ages. Seriously, wouldn't you want to be going to school today and hand in a virtual world as your homework assignment? How cool would that be?
I want to do that. I love that. All right, Donna and everyone in the audience, throw up some hearts. Let's welcome everybody to room 2. Room 2 is open. Hello, everybody. You are not alone. You are not alone in VR no matter what, even with this event. So welcome, welcome, welcome. On Wednesday, Educators in VR is a virtual coaching and personal development workshop with Dina Maria, who's known as Captain VR. She features one of our favorite special guests, Jeremy Nickel of Evolve VR. He's going to be sharing his insights and expertise in meditation to help us relax, de-stress, and boost our mood, something, okay, we all need a little bit more of right now. And do you know, I don't know if you know this, but Jeremy has been doing his Evolve VR events for over, I think it's almost 4 years here in Altspace. And his events cover everything from meditation to book clubs to dances, all right here in Altspace and beyond. So he is a pioneer in VR education and so please show up early for this event, as you will want to hear what he has to say and what he has.
Now, Students in VR meets every week on Wednesday. The student-led and produced weekly event features amazing speakers and topics showcasing the talents of students, young and old, and the potential for VR in education.
Do we know who's speaking this week, Donna?
Yes, at our
Okay.
conference we had Juliana, and she is going to come, and we get to do a more in-depth interview with Juliana, another Canadian. She's from Vancouver.
And her specialty is?
Sorry, Laurel.
Okay, that's all right. She did amazing work in, oh, now I've just gone blank. We both are gone blank. Anyway, she's an expert, and you're going to want to be there. And when we can remember, we'll let you know on our Discord. Totally gone blank on that. I'm sorry. Now, Thursday is another of the Educators in VR virtual schooling sessions with her exciting, with Keely's exciting Bring It Home series, featuring topics and experts on homeschooling and handling classes from home during the pandemic and beyond. So if you're a parent homeschooling, considering homeschooling, or now, like so many, facing this new life with children and students at home, or taking your own classes from home, or you're interested in the possibilities for homeschooling, join Keely on Thursday for another fascinating session and discussion.
Now, we mentioned concerts as one of the treats we have here in Altspace VR. Don't forget that if you have a talent to share, from singing, playing a musical instrument, maybe reading poetry or short stories, or you are good at telling a joke, maybe 3, check out all the amazing talent events we have here in Altspace, and there is a lot.
Absolutely. And now I just found out that it's Julianne who's coming back, right, to Students in VR. She is a specialist in, isn't that right? Julianne
Yes.
Lowe? Okay.
Yes.
She's a specialist in human-centered design thinking, and she specializes in fine art installations and interactive digital landscapes. I knew it would come to me with a little bit of Google friendly help. All right, so check that out on Wednesday with Students in VR. Now, we have Sunday features center stage. That's tomorrow. Wednesdays are open mic. We have improv night. Please show off your acting skills. Be brave. Lights, camera, action on Tuesdays is another improvisational and acting opportunity. Friday is also Alt Stages open mic, and don't forget the comedy club events and the show-off shows on Thursdays and Fridays that allow you to shine in the spotlight as well. If you don't find the right show to show off and share your talents, why not create your own? You don't have any more excuses. You don't need to rent a hotel, a big building. It's easy. Just create an event in Altspace VR, and all the instructions are in the info zone. And we might mention it here in the news.
Now, are you a songwriter, a composer, maybe a music producer? Check out the Songwriters and Producers Share Your Music meetups. They happen on Thursday. It's a great opportunity to meet others who share your talents and skills and learn about what's happening in this fast-growing and ever-changing industry.
Yes, and Thursday is another episode of Simulation Nation. This week, Graham discusses the film Ready Player One and the new book that may turn into a movie, Ready Player Two. Are you ready for Ready Player Two? Yeah? How many are fans of Ready Player One? Yeah. God, that was an amazing movie. And Ready Player Two should be even more amazing. The book launches November 24th. This movie was seriously a game changer for VR, emphasizing the social relationships that many of us take for granted here. It's fascinating. You hang out in the campfire long enough or in the info zone, and somebody's going to come in and go, "Oh, I thought this would be just like Ready Player One," or "This is so much like Ready Player One." It's weird. So don't miss out on the discussion with Simulation Nation and learn more about what the new book has to offer and join the discussion.
Now, this Friday is Virtual Reality Day 2020. This is the 4th annual 24 Hours in VR event with Bob. It will feature a variety of speakers, workshops, entertainment, and who knows, here in AltSpace VR. The event is usually simulcast and celebrated in person by over 60 cities. But this year, it is all online, coming to you from around the world through the web and in AltSpace VR.
It's also an opportunity to learn more about the potential for VR from some of the leading experts in the VR industry. They're going to be hosting and presenting, and the list includes Steve Branberry, Lucas Risotto, Mika Shippey, Chris Madsen, love him with Engage VR, Suzanne Lee, Veronica Rodriguez Perez, Marta Ordieg, and Rafael Pages. You can learn more about this and all of the celebration, the schedule, and everything of VR Day 2020 at virtualrealityday.org.
Now let's talk about the upcoming events for the holidays as part of the holiday storytelling events announced last week. Remember, these are open to everyone, and all are welcome to create a holiday storytelling event to share a story in the public domain from your childhood or even further back, or share original stories of the holidays representing your personal experience, your culture, traditions, your story. We are so excited about this opportunity to bring people together in social VR with the ancient tradition of storytelling. We want to fill the schedule with story. Doesn't that sound amazing, you guys?
I'm so excited about this. Now oh, look at that. I love this. This is beautiful. The guidelines are in the official AltSpace VR Discord announcement and elsewhere, all over the place. It's spreading all over. But here's a quick summary on how it's going to work. The events are recommended to be 30 minutes long. So these are quickies, okay? You may use an AltSpace VR template world or create your own within the guidelines for an event space. Okay, which means the diagnostics should be green, all right? You may optionally request the event be featured, but you need to do so at least prior to the event. Longer is better if you're going to have it featured. Doesn't need to be, people are looking for these. The stories and the events must be family friendly, which kills one of my favorite holiday stories. Dang it. In compliance with the terms of service of AltSpace VR, you need to use only copyrighted and royalty-free materials, images, etc., and it's highly recommended. Y'all, no slides, no video, no interactables. Just don't use those in an event because it takes the focus away from the storyteller, and we want to really concentrate on the story and the social aspect of this, okay? The World Tours events on Wednesdays have been leading tours focused on building worlds for this event and offering tips in their World Tours Discord at discord.me/world tours. That's discord.me/world tours.
We'd love you to share your favorite stories, personal or traditional, with others. So get your plans in motion and book that holiday storytelling event now. Mark, our producer, will be sharing stories, as will those from the Creative Writing Meetup, Educators in VR, World Tours, and other groups from around AltSpace VR. If you host a regular event here, get your team together to host your own holiday storytelling event, or just find a friend. Help us make the holidays wonderful here in AltSpace VR.
Yay! I'm so excited about it. All right, these are just a very few of the many events that are hosted here in AltSpace every single day, every week, every month, and throughout the year. As we said, not a chance to be bored here in AltSpace VR. If you find an event you wish to attend, make sure you RSVP, and AltSpace VR will send you an email reminder on the event an hour before. So if you love what they do, if you love what those event hosts are, they're giving their all for this, just for you, for all free, check the channel list to see if they're listed and subscribe to be notified of all upcoming events.
And also take a moment to subscribe to the News and Updates channel, as you will be notified of our upcoming events so you don't miss a moment of what's going on here in AltSpace VR. Now it's time to turn from events coming up this week towards news related to events and world building, the news from around the community of AltSpace VR.
And AltSpace is starting to fill up again, folks, with tons of new users. Now, many are arriving as their communities go once again back into lockdown, and they are eager to learn more about this community, to connect, to explore what's available for entertainment as well as activities. And arrivals on the new Reverb G2 should be coming in soon. Shipments are being delivered. We love that our AltSpace VR community is so welcoming to newcomers and community helpers. You're invited to, once again, staff the info zone and the new hubs to help direct people and answer questions, as this is part of your responsibilities. And we are so thankful that you are there to help support all the new people that are coming in.
Now, we've long had the ability to add tags, hashtags, as they are sometimes called, to worlds. Now that they are available for events as well, this should help with the event searches on the website and may also help with the potential keyword searches coming up in the AltSpace VR menu interface, a request we've had for so many years. If you host an event, look for the hashtags and add keywords that describe your event, like new, talk show, comedy, concert, discussion, or entertainment. Currently, the event search now indexes hashtags, titles, and descriptions, and we are hoping it expands to channels and event host names soon.
Yay! Now, events now, like worlds, have the ability to be unlisted. Now, listen closely, because this might not be what you think it is. All right? This means that the event will appear under Events, My Events, if the person has RSVP'd or is hosting or moderating the event. It'll also show up under All, but not in Popular or Search Results. So look for the checkbox. It doesn't mean it's private, just means it's not listed in those popular and search results. Look for the checkbox at the bottom of the event webpage under Advanced Settings. If you host an event that you would like to keep a little more private without making it private, a little more under the radar, this is an excellent option.
Now, work continues on the multimedia console, also known as the MMC. It was announced earlier this week that it would be offline and unavailable for a patch, and that the process took a little longer than expected. The fixes announced included fixing the issue with special characters in the session ID and improved stability for the new persistent storage configurations. What does this actually mean?
It's kind of crazy. All right. So you can now retrieve the configuration ID from inside the configure prompt dialog in the app. I know you have to do it to figure this out, and use that to load the current configuration of your videos, your multimedia, your images and stuff into the multimedia console web portal. The user can then edit that config and publish it as a new configuration to use in the MRE app. Okay, all of the instructions are at help.altvr.com when you just look up the video and MRE. Unfortunately, existing sessions cannot be edited or loaded using this, as it applies to only new multimedia sessions, but it does allow us that information to persist, which is something we wanted. We feel it's still a little clunky, and we're eager for this to improve, and as you saw this week, they are working on it.
Now, we'd also like to remind you that work continues on the Mac client version for 2D desktop access. We love welcoming all the Mac 2D users here to AltSpace VR. More and more world builders are updating their worlds and kits to include Mac versions. Share word that AltSpace VR is accessible with a Mac laptop or desktop. Let your Mac user friends know. The more people that know about it, the more likely they are to give it a try.
And how perfect right now to be able to invite Mac users as well as Windows users in 2D and all the rest of your friends who don't have VR devices for the holidays. So just let them know. And please subscribe to our news and updates Discord and the AltSpace VR channel, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and stay in touch with our live stream or recorded YouTube shows. Do you know that if you can't make it into AltSpace VR, you can watch our live stream of the news every week. So stay updated on what's going on here. We are so proud of what we've created and built here, and we do this for you. Okay, that is always foremost in our mind. Thank you for being here and for supporting us so much.
Now let's move along to world building. As a reminder, when using the diagnostics tool for world building, please ignore the red warnings on the new frame rate feedback. This feature is still in development and not working quite right. It is designed to estimate the frame rate, the frames per second based upon Quest user experiences. To test for mobile users, world builders have either had to buy a Quest or find friends with them to invite them in to measure the frame rates and test the experience. The goal of this new diagnostics feature is to eliminate that particular need. Be patient as the developers smooth out the rough edges and rejoice when it is finally working.
Cannot wait. I've abused Donna and Mark and so many, and I see Karen and Karen 666 and Diamond and all my friends with Quests. I have abused them so much over the years. Thank you. It's nice to have this tool coming in. All right, those of you who are in the lobby area, come on in. There's plenty of seats open. Welcome. With the holiday storytelling event in action, the Wednesday World Tours team is showcasing storytelling and holiday worlds to inspire you to not just create a storytelling holiday world, but holiday worlds for the season that represent all the global traditions that are from you here in AltSpace. Bring your tradition in. The World Tour team discussed the differences between building a storytelling world and a world that told stories. There's a difference, and that was confusing to us at first, and we figured it out. Here are their guidelines.
Storytelling worlds are intimate, smaller than most worlds, and features a focal point for the storyteller and a space for the audience. The world is a complement to the story, not the actual story. The audience doesn't move through the experience, they stay put and listen to the story.
Now, the more intriguing and distracting the world, the less interested the audience is in the story. Thus, it invites more distractions and stuff. This doesn't mean there can't be fireworks at the end of the event, or you can turn it into a social experience after the story. And there are some ways that you can do a little bit of traveling through the story, but we want to, it really works best when you have that social experience of the storytelling and people stay still.
Videos, slides, interactables, and elements that take the focus away from the storyteller are not recommended. They are too much fuss for those new to world building, and even some of us very experienced with world building.
And the best advice we can give you is the same advice that applies to everything. Keep it simple. Check out the list of storytelling worlds and examples that are in their World Tours Discord at discord.me/World Tours, discord.me/World Tours, and find more tips and suggestions to help you build for these storytelling events, including hosting your own.
Now, with all this discussion of world building for events, please take advantage of the classes and workshops right now in AltSpace VR before they stop for the holiday season. There are tons of videos and in-world classes on world building with Carnivore and the Computer Science and VR team for free and paid, and others are taking advantage of the free access to Unity classes on the Unity website. And all the free information and tutorials out there from the AltSpace VR community.
Now, I still can't believe that Unity is offering so many of these classes for free still. It's awesome. We want to showcase your world here in the news, be it a holiday world or otherwise. So if you finish your world and you're ready to spread the news, share it with us in our News and Updates Discord. Share your world channel, and we may feature it right here in the news. And I have to tell you, it's one of our greatest joys is displaying your creativity.
Okay, so now it's discussion time. With all the new users,
Gotta get that drum roll.
with all the new users arriving in droves again, the numbers expected to increase throughout the holiday season and into the next year. We're looking for what advice do you have for those who are new to AltSpace VR? In other words, what do you wish you knew sooner rather than later about how to use AltSpace VR?
Now, so forgive us, the slide did not update. So this is not the question up on the screen. Don't know what happened, but it just didn't update. Anyway, we're going to open up the queue here, and we were going to be talking about what Donna just said, is what do you wish that you knew when you first came into AltSpace? He's reloading. Okay. That you think that others should know right away. And when I first came into AltSpace VR, my first impression was that it's just a bunch of people standing around talking. Now, those who know me, hopefully still love me, know that I'm just not a stand around and talker person. I'm a doer. I like to call myself an action avatar. I want to be in the action, not be the distraction. And so, honestly, there weren't many events at the time, and most of those were hosted by staff. They brought in some celebrities and things like that. So when they opened it up to anyone, things got really, really exciting and interesting here. And I realized I had a place not just to enjoy, but to thrive and then build. Okay. So to be creative, and I'm so when we're doing the AltSpace VR 101s, we're doing introductions and stuff with educators in VR and stuff, and meeting new people. That's one of the first things that I talk about is the events and the world building. Donna, how about you? And anyone else, just hit the raise hand button. We would love to hear. What do you want people to know when they come into AltSpace that you wish you knew?
Well, I'll answer the question a different way. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
would say that to debunk a myth, that when you come into AltSpace, you become a different person, and I think that
Beautiful.
when I came in, I assumed some things I would leave them behind because it was in a make-believe world, right? And I still have arguments with people that I consider close, good friends of mine, that don't think this is real. Even people in AltSpace or in VR, that this is a makeup, it's a fake world, right? To me, it's more real than the real world that I have. But the myth was that. So I'll give you an example. I'm very, very, very claustrophobic. And I assumed when I came into VR, it never occurred to me I would be claustrophobic here. Why would I be claustrophobic? I'm in my room, like I'm not affected. And I'm every bit as claustrophobic in here as I am. When I come into a room that's small, avatars are moving around. Most of the time I can't stay. I just can't breathe. Like I literally can't breathe. And I didn't expect stuff like that, right? You can make up an avatar and you can become someone else. For people who are actors and stuff that have pursuits or are actively in the arts of dramatizing to being someone else, this is, I mean, you may be in your glory here, but for the most of us, we're just ourselves. That's good. It's good on some days, bad on other days. It's just we tend to be real here, and I think that that's one of the things that I like to convey to people is that about relationships. Relationships are real. It doesn't really matter to me. When I talk to non-VR friends, I just describe it as a different coffee shop. We might meet in Starbucks and we might meet in VR. It's really just a different place to meet. It's not a different world to me. It's just a different room or something. I don't know. And so it takes people that are new to the community sometimes a bit of time to understand that. Maybe not everybody has the same opinion about me, but that's what I would say, Laurel.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. All right, let's see what other people have to say. Darren, you're up.
All right. Does my I guess my
Yep.
speaker's working.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that it'd be good to have somebody know that there's more than just the campfire to start out in. That's what a lot of I think Daisy Shaw mentioned that you come in and you see people, they talk. You had no idea there's other worlds out there. You had no idea you can make worlds. It's more structured towards events. And I thought it'd be better if you have, my idea is that somebody would alluded that there's worlds you can go to rather than just events all the time. That's it.
Oh, excellent. You know, that you make a really, really good point. And we used to have teleporters that would take us from the campfire out to many of these worlds. And then when world building started being revamped and remodeled, it went back into beta. And so they've made it a little more restrictive, because if you've been hanging out on the Discord channels at all, you'll know how frustrating world building is, because there still isn't enough support and information and things, and we're all just winging it like Wild Wild West. And we miss those. We missed having the variety and things of the worlds that are out there. But when people are exposed through the Altspace VR 101 and other events, boy, do they get excited about the idea that they can actually build right here in Altspace. And so I think there's ways that it's being announced, and I'm so eager for world building to move back out of beta. Wouldn't that be awesome? And there's some new tools that are coming, and I think it's going to be back in promoted very, very soon.
Well, and I'd just like to add to that, that world building is really exciting. But for any of those you out there that aren't actually world builders, I'm one of you. I'm not a world builder. I have like zero interest in becoming a world builder. I'm an event host, and that's where my passion lies. That's where my skill lies. But we can't have events without worlds. And right now we have this unusual thing that there's lots of people that are getting excited about world building, but we still don't have a lot of worlds where we can host events. So I'm very excited about merging those two, so that, and the difference, just so you know, is that in order to host an event and host it successfully, is it has to meet criteria. So it's as fun as it is to have 35 kits and lots of really fun things to do, we can't host events in worlds that don't meet a certain criteria. And so lots of people are excited in giving the adventure experience from just growing world hopping, and I do my fair share of world hopping myself. But I'm also desperate for worlds, like seriously desperate for worlds where I can host unique events in. And so anybody that has that is interested in refining their worlds so that they are great for hosting events, I'm happy to talk with you, because that's what I'm desperate for. Sorry, I'll just get my plug in there.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Now the World Tours team is working on doing an event and a world that will demonstrate how to build worlds for events. So stay tuned for that. So, oh, we got a bunch of people who want to do it. All right, John, you're on. John? You're on. Did I lose you?
It's always frustrating when you come in here and have problems with audio. Sorry, we all experience it. So sorry, John.
Yeah, John, how about you?
Okay, so
there.
I guess I'm on, but
yes, you are.
Hi.
Hi, John.
Nice to be here. Yeah, it's great to hear all of the new improvements that are coming to Altspace. It really is. I've been on Horizon for a little bit and back here, and I think what you are all doing is amazing, totally amazing. So just wanted to say thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, John. Thank you. Yeah, we hear that over and over again, is that you know, as funky as Altspace is, as you know, we're still living on the cutting edge of technology here, and they keep pushing out new things that are coming all the time. And so, you know, people want to go something else, they go exploring, but a lot of people come back because there's something special about our community here. We just love that. All right, Tim and Marty. I'm sorry. I'm trying to swallow and say your name. I know it. I don't know what it is. It's just those well, the way those consonants and vowels go. I stutter over your name.
It's okay. You can call me Timon. So okay, first of all, this is probably unprecedented to have two South Africans speaking one after each other. So that shows how diverse Altspace is becoming. Thanks, John. Mm-hmm. The second thing is that if there's one thing I want people to know before when they come onto Altspace, is that you shouldn't base your ideas on how you act in the real world to how you act in VR. because in the
Oh,
real
good one.
world, when we popped into the campsite, as most of us did, we imagined that it was very intimidating to meet just strangers and a whole bunch of avatars as we would in the real world. It's not as socially acceptable in the real world as it is in VR. And you do learn very quickly that it is acceptable to meet people. People are open. There's a lot of equality, whether someone is a world builder or someone is highly technical program developer. No matter who they are, they still come out friendly. They come out humble, conservative, and real. You know, this is a very authentic. The authenticity in this place is something unlike I've ever seen before, where perfection is not needed anymore. Perfection is not perfect in 2020, and we don't need that anymore. We just need to be real, and we don't need to be scared of meeting people in the world of VR. As soon as you guys pop into VR, chat away and meet as many people as you can.
How beautifully said. Yay, beautifully said. Yay, that is so true. Which, isn't that delightful in the world today that, you know, it really doesn't matter if I have purple hair or green face, whatever it happens to be. We are who we are beneath our avatar. So it doesn't matter what we look like. And even for the last 4+ years, where Altspace had these dumbed down robot-y looking, you know, not just robot, I'm not downing robots, but these little square faced robot-y, you know, faceless kind of characters with very little originality. Now we have these brand new avatars, which are still new, only a few months old, that allows us a little more originality, and they're going to improve, you know, and develop over time. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we look like. Isn't that beautiful? To be in a place where we care about who you are underneath your avatar. That just sounded weird. So beautifully said. And it's about connection and relationships. And you all, do you know how lucky you are to be here during the pandemic? It is, honestly, it has been an incredible blessing. You know, I just know that I would have been going bananas without Altspace, to reach out and connect with human beings. So great. Thank you, Timon. This is beautiful. I will get your name completely right here soon. It's just I take a drink of water every time. Thanks. All right, let's see who is up next. We have a bunch of people here. So Mike, you're up. Hey, Mike.
Hey, yeah, I just have a few things I wish people knew when they came into Altspace. You know, I feel like you guys were talking about worlds earlier, and I feel like a lot of people don't know you have to go in your settings and then turn on worlds beta. So, like the other week, I was telling my buddy, you know, go just check out popular worlds, and you can find a lot of worlds in there that people are at and you favorite them. He's like, worlds? What worlds? I'm like, what do you mean, what worlds? You don't see it in your menu? He's like, no, I don't see it in my menu. I'm like, oh, you didn't yet turn on worlds beta. So I wish people like just coming into Altspace, you know, like know to turn that on. And I wish that kind of like they would say that to turn it on, because I feel like a lot of people are missing out on that. And also, like as an event host, I feel like a lot of people join Altspace daily, and then they just go into whatever event has a lot of people in them. So I feel like I wish they knew not to do portals in the middle of events, because that can get like really annoying when there's just like you're talking and then someone just makes a big old portal right in the middle of the event, and just like 10 other people just click on it because they're all new, and they just see, oh, big blue orb, let me just click that and see what that does. So I wish people knew not to do that at events.
Absolutely. We talk about that. That is discussed in Altspace VR 101 as part of the etiquette, but it's kind of, we describe it as somebody having a big party. And, you know, you spend all months and months and months to create this beautiful party. You've got all these people here, and then somebody comes in and goes, this is boring. Come over to my place. And then they take half your audience. That's what a portal is. Now, it used to make noise. Now it doesn't. We have at least that much going, because we used to have, actually, it was like PTSD. We'd hear that chime and go, ah! Ah! And start just panicking every time we heard the sound. So at least now it doesn't make noise, but yeah, it is really upsetting. I like that. And, you know, don't forget, share with people about AltSpace VR 101. It really is so helpful. Donna and Diamond and others are I think it's just you two right now, but we're looking for other people, are always working with people to help them on the new techniques and the new ways. How do you cope, not new, but how do you cope with this new environment? And make sure you refer people to AltSpace VR 101. Karen.
Yeah, Laurel, just a couple things. One, again, AltSpace 101. I wish AltSpace would push people towards 101. Like when you are coming into AltSpace, when you're spawning into AltSpace and you get that AltSpace tip, for newbies, for people that are new, maybe for the first 3 or 4 times, it could say, attend 101 or something like that, so that they're kind of pushed in that direction. Because right now, Donna and Margie, they just do such a great job at explaining everything, for one thing, making people feel welcome, which is like, 100% of it, and then taking people on world tours. So much is covered during that 101. And then the last thing, or the second thing I wanted to say, and I've said this before, is to everybody in here, who's comfortable being here now, just think back when you first came in. I mean, I won't go through my story again. Everybody's heard it 1,000 times, but most people, the vast majority of people, are really intimidated when they come in here the first time. So just say hello to people, when you see them, and make them feel welcome here.
Beautiful. We mentioned in the show, but I think it's important to repeat. If you are a community helper, it is part of your responsibility to staff the info zone and the new hubs to welcome people and greet people. Make sure you just add half an hour to your day. Work with people in the community helpers channel to make sure that I'm double checking that everybody can still see us in room 2. Please, those of you in room 2, please give me some hearts or claps. Okay, great. Fantastic. Donna, could you flip it on and off? We seem to have lost it for a second. I want to make sure, that anyway, that if you are a community helper, just set aside a half an hour a week, an hour, 2 hour, whatever you can handle, randomly, whatever, but also work with the community helper channel in Discord, so that you can coordinate with others, so that you can team up and really greet people. Beautiful, Karen. All right. Thank you. And thank you for everything you do as well. All right, Joseph Tonto, you're on.
Okay. Yeah, well, when I was introduced to AltSpace VR by a friend, I was like, hey, this is really nice, and if people had told me there would be a church in a digital way, I'd think they would be crazy. So my tip is try to attend your religious service in VR. Doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be AltSpace. They can attend Rec Room, for an example, all the other social VR platforms.
Excellent advice. And Donna, you've been hosting this amazing Bible study and support group and stuff, supporting Christianity and other religions as well. What does it mean to you to be doing this here for everybody?
Well, I think as a community, people appreciate that they can into a welcoming space where there's no judgment allowed. Like that's one of the things that people can be heard, no judgment. They can speak their mind. We have Monday through Thursday, we have devotionals that generate interesting discussion. Great to have music back. We play half an hour of music every morning. But the weekends we have a different kind of conversation, and we do more discipleship and more like a church service, but we do a lot of feisty conversations where we can really have disagreeing views and agree to disagree in a really what's the word? where like it's just I can't think of the word, sorry, but but people, the comments that I get is people just appreciate that they can come in. So I'll end with this, and this is not uncommon, but on Friday night, at the end, and we often on the weekends meet somewhere from between 2 and 3 hours. People just don't want to leave, so we just are there for a long time. And after about the 2-hour mark, one of the gentlemen that was there said, "I'm going to leave now," but and he hadn't spoken the whole time. And he said, "I just want to say that I'm not actually a Christian, but I was so tired of all the stuff that was going on, everything that's being said." And he, made comments, and he said, I can't tell you how much I appreciate just coming into a place where people are kind and welcoming, and I could just be here, and I could, and he said, "So I'm not a Christian, but if you don't mind, I'd like to come back." and that's the kind of thing that I really appreciate, that the community is fostering.
Oh, that is absolutely the best thing. It really is. And it is about creating community and serving that community and being part of that community. All right, we have one more question left from iCrazy. You are on.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to say that this is actually like my very first time being on VR and stuff. And so it's for like the past 3-4 days, everybody that I've asked like information for, everybody's been pretty cool and chill about it, and took their time with me and helped me out and whatnot. And I just wanted to say, I'm happy to be here. I hope everybody doing pretty good today or whatnot, and I just wanted to share that, and that's pretty much it, really.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We're glad that you are here.
Yeah. And just like the one guy said, sometimes I come into alt space, and if I see it's a whole bunch of people in the live thing, I'll slide on in there and just see what's going on and just be talking a little bit. But that's it.
And
yeah,
that's beautiful. And I also recommend that people go to the events that have 2 people, because you never know what magic is going to be in there. And honestly, I've said this before. I just want to say this again. It doesn't matter if you host an event. I don't care if 2 people show up or 100 show up. I would rather have 2 people show up, because those people want to be there and they're not just curious. They're there because they really want to be there. And that's where the magic happens. So, don't start going, "Oh, I'm going to go to this event because 200 people are signed up for it." Yeah, I stay away from it, because I want to be where I can connect with people and have those conversations. Now, here's a few more things before we round this up that I think that we need to know and share with people who are new to AltSpace. And one of them is, you don't need VR headset. You can come in Windows and Mac. Let's make sure that we spread that word so that people understand it's accessible. You don't need the funky equipment and stuff. And if people have motion sickness, have them come in 2D. They usually have very little motion sickness issues. And it's so easy to set up your own event. But it can be complicated, but don't rush it. Just don't ask to have it featured. Just experiment by creating an event, suggest a topic, invite people to share your passions, and learn how that process works so you can connect with other people that you want to know. And please, when you see people having those, you all know what they look like, where they're just kind of and they can't move, help teach people how to navigate and move around here in AltSpace. Seriously, help them. I have watched people do the famous, teleport right in the middle of a screen and then they can't get out. And it isn't because they're being distracting. They just don't know how to move. So help people, okay? And remember, I think Donna and I both agree on this. One of the things that is probably the best thing that keeps us here in AltSpace is, and many of you have mentioned it, is respect. And that is a beautiful thing where we can respect each other for our diversity, for our opinions, for our thoughts, for our expertise, and just for who we are. I think that's beautiful. Okay, one last thing. Old people are welcome here, folks. And it just ain't for children. I love that part. And I think more people need to know that as well. This is an adult social community. I don't want to, as much as I love children, I don't have a problem with that. I don't want to be hanging around with some 6 and 8-year-olds. This is for adults. All right. That is all for this week's news and updates. We love your opinions. That is beautiful. We live stream the news onto YouTube every week. You can catch up with past episodes to learn more about how AltSpace VR works and what's going on in the community. We feature the AltSpace VR announcements feed in our news and update server, so you don't miss a minute of the news.
And just to remember, the conversation doesn't stop here in AltSpace VR. Discord is our home base for our community outside of AltSpace VR, and we invite you to join the News and Updates Discord to keep up with the news and activities here and around the VR industry, and to share your world's news, events, and updates with us at discord.me/news updates. Discord.me/news updates. Please tell a friend, share our Discord and YouTube channel so others can keep up with the news in and around AltSpace as well.
And if you'd like to volunteer, we'd like to abuse you. So please, if you'd like to help us out, we would love it. We do this for you. We are not employees of AltSpace, but we need your help. We need people to help us film and live stream the news. We need people to supply us with pictures and news from the events and activities all around AltSpace VR. We need writers, editors, photographers, reporters, moderators, backup hosts. You know, we'd like a break once in a while. So if you would like to help us out, let us know on our Discord server or after the show.
Also, we will hang around after the news to answer your questions and talk about what you are doing here in AltSpace VR. So stick around, and we'd love to chat with you. Thank you, as always, to our news and updates volunteers and moderators that help make this event such a success. It takes a team to host an event, and so thank you. And with these uncertain times, please be safe wherever you are in the world.
Yay! All right, those of you who are in room 2, we didn't have a chance to merge it together. So we're going to be disappearing off your screen in just a moment. So head out and explore. We've got great events that are happening all weekend. So go check those out. Thank you. For everybody who's here in room 1, we're going to be dropping the